Mr. Cody Webb, first place on the day here at the Moab Hard Enduro. Absolute savage ride. Tell us about your day.
Yeah, it was quite the day. Honestly, I had probably more confidence than I should have, I guess. It's been a hellacious week and a couple days leading up to this race. I started ordering parts for my 250 FX last Thursday, and I was going to ride the two-stroke here and then ride four-stroke back east because I just couldn't find what I was looking for. Luckily, Bob Oliver at Yamaha, shout out to Bob for saving the season for me. He was a factory Yamaha mechanic from 1980 to 2018. He gave me the secret sauce insight. I would share it with you, but you got to watch my vlog, so you can watch it there. But yeah, no, it drastically changed the motorcycle for me. And then, slight mistake on my part, and we were splitting cases Wednesday of this week, so my race bike was fully apart. Cases split.
For a little added stress.
Yeah, I added some stress to it. So everything was already done. I had all the mess out of the way, and I was fired up for the race. And yesterday we're on the line to do the short course. That was super fun. I enjoyed that.
Got the win there, too.
Got the win there. But Tristan, he kind of gave me more confidence than I should have had. He goes, this is just like rev limiter when you're on your old bike, when you destroyed us there. And I'm like, it is. You're right. And my bike's a little bit better. I think I can have these guys, So he sparked a little bit in me. And today, didn't get a good start at all, but felt good. Just flowing on the bike, didn't get any arm pump there in the beginning of the race. Normally I'd get tight and struggle and then finally can regroup, but James was leading and I enjoyed the pace he was at. Top 5 or wherever we were was definitely pulling away, and Will was just block passing all of us one at a time. Got to the lead and he was just on a mission but could never really get away from us because then we upped our pace, right, to not let him get away. And the lead 3 kind of broke out, me, Will, and Tristan, and I was really just being patient. I knew I wasn't going to push hard in the beginning of the race. I was just kind of letting those guys go, and I pushed hard on a downhill and we caught up to lappers, and that's right when I got on the rear wheel, and then I passed both of them right there. I felt like with the better bike setup on the YZ, it just gave me more confidence today to do stuff that I wasn't doing at any of the other races. So it helped me out a ton mentally, and my fitness is, I have a good strong base fitness, but I've been so just head underwater not working out and training. It's bad. So now that I'm happy with where the bike is, I can hopefully get better as the year goes on. So I was pretty beat there at the end. Had a huge crash. I thought you were gonna have to pull the bike off of me.
That was nasty.
I was like, Max, please save me. But I got the bike off. It hurt bad. Same leg I fell on at Grindingstone again. And then I just was digging deep. I had that grit and was telling myself, you can just keep going, you'll be fine. And Tristan got hung up bad with lappers. It was kind of for me, I feel like lappers really played in my favor today. And like I said, I had that confidence to do sketchier lines, different lines. Those guys were kind of riding the main path, and that helped me a ton. In the final pass up Black Flag, I knew I had that lead, so I played it safe. Maybe too safe, because the last undercut I stuffed it and my hand blew off the bars and I literally almost threw everything away. That would have been embarrassing, but luckily I had a big enough gap built up and cruised it up and didn't panic too bad at the finish. And it was a phenomenal day. Beginning of the year I was really excited to try and get some wins, and we had a rough go there, and I started thinking, well, I guess this is the new me, just battling back here. And today, it was fantastic. I had so much fun again, battling with the lead pack, talking smack with the boys again, friendful smack, of course, not talking crap. But no, I had fun. And Tristan was giving me a hard time this year for missing me and not battling. And I'm just 2 minutes behind, struggling to catch up and never catch up. And today I reeled him back in and pulled away. And, he almost got me there at the end, but I played it safe. And it's, I don't know, it still doesn't really feel real. Obviously I'm pumped, but it's I know I can still I'm mentally in this mindset. It's the engineering thing in me, but I'm what can I do next to be better for the next race with the bike? So it's the biggest improvement was literally in this last week, and Tyler at Applied Technology, I'm at his shop. We're we're machining stuff we should not be machining, but it worked.
What does it mean for you and Yamaha Motors to get Yamaha's first US Hard Enduro win?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say for Yamaha, but they have to be stoked, I would think. Like, we're a really strong community niche market, I would say. Everyone's diehard out here. Like, the community we have is pretty ridiculous. Not huge, but people are dedicated, but it keeps growing. So in that fact, I think they see some sort of value in having me here. But for me, it's awesome. Like, I signed my jersey, put it in the Red Bull rig, like, super proud of that one for sure, because it's monumental, right? Like, we're not on the Supercross stage, right? But like, I'm Doug Henry right now, essentially. Granted, he wasn't on a 4-stroke, but like, I feel like Doug Henry because no one's riding a YZ, and
yeah,
I made it happen.
It seems like, from my perspective, your ride today reminded me of King of the Motos 2024.
Yeah.
When you came off the track, you're like, dude, it's all mental. It almost seemed like you had came across, you'd figured something out. You're like, it really is all mental. And then today after that crash, you got up and you had the wind knocked out of you, and you're gathering your bearings, trying to start your bike, breaking tree branches off so you could start your bike.
Kickstart was hitting the tree
branch. Yeah, poof, breaks the branch off, throws it, and you're like, I might have just given. They're like, there goes my shot at the win. But you rebounded and you dug deep, and that's what reminded me of that King of the Motos. Is like, this is the new Cody Webb. This guy just keeps going.
I don't know, Tristan. He seemed pretty happy for me at the end, and I think he's mostly stoked because the other guys haven't beaten him straight up yet, but I have. So I think he was okay with letting me take the win, and it still works great for him in points. I'm pretty far back, so. But yeah, I mean, I just keep hanging in there. I'm not out yet, apparently. And for me, it was huge. I started getting in my head a little bit too much. I was like, I'm going to freaking win this thing. Like, and everyone who's been talking smack online, like, everyone I feel like is stoked for what I'm doing, but obviously everyone is an expert. And they're like, there's no chance. This is the end of his career. He's going to be like Poltares. And look at Poltares. Look at where he is now from where he was before. So for me, it's been nothing but great for my brand. Not that YouTube matters, but like, it's fun for me to do, and people don't talk to me about racers. They come and talk to me about what I'm doing on YouTube. Like, the sport is changing. Yeah, I'm an athlete for Yamaha and Red Bull, but at the same time, I'm just like, I'm doing everything and more of like an ambassador. And you know, I wish Yamaha sees this and they do something, but you know, now that I'm on the right track, there's definitely going to be an email going to Yamaha and being like, hey, if we guys want to do anything, I got it figured out now. This is what we need to do. Go this direction. So,
well, from the community's perspective, you've been a great ambassador for Yamaha, the whole US Hard Enduro community, and you're still the top dog. Congratulations, dude. You are the man.
Here and there, the top dog. Today we were.
Hey, what'd you do to the Yamaha to find that extra gear today?
It's still a secret for now. You got to watch my vlog, but we found extra gear. We were able to pull gears a little bit better. That's what we were doing.
There you go. The man, Cody Webb. All right, we got Tristan Hart here. A close second place on the day on the factory KTM. Tristan, how was it?
Oh, pretty tough, to be honest. Pretty much from the first 10 minutes, I was dragging my tongue. Yeah, I don't know. I just woke up feeling tired, and I never really... Like at King of Motos, I got that big energy spurt on the third lap, and I was able to just hammer. And I tried that this year too. And I gassed up quickly and got a good gap on Cody. I'm like, let's go. And I just didn't have it. So I just did what I could. I just gave my full effort, but it wasn't a great effort. It was just what I had. And yeah, I made a couple mistakes. Cody caught me, but I mean, he was riding so well today. It reminds me of the old days when I'd be pushing hard on the transfer sections and he's just cleaning everything. And yeah, it was sick because it's been a long time since me and him have had like a big battle like that for 3 hours. The last couple of years he's been injured or just dominated me, but yeah, so it's pretty sick. And just honestly seeing what he can do is like, it's crazy. And I explain it to people and they're like, yeah, but like, fuck. It's hard to imagine what he actually did today. Like, it's crazy.
What's an example?
Like, we came into this pro section, and there was like 20 amateurs, and it was like massive undercut rock, and then another step after that, and he's starting with his front tire on it, and he just went, what? Splatted it, and then got the next step, then he had like a 40-second gap because I freaking pushed my bike, and
there was just no way
I
you could do it.
blew myself out. But we were coming from different ways, so it didn't make sense for me to even try that.
Yep.
And that's not the only reason I didn't do it, because I wasn't confident in doing that. So yeah, I mean, I honestly feel like walking back there and just having a look at that. Like, yeah, it's just crazy. It's so crazy. But he's good in the dry rocks. Like, that's just, most of the time he beats me, it's in conditions like these, like dry dirt, dry rocks, and like just big ones. He's so good at just bap, bap, bap. So, I mean, I'm not upset. This is my second ride in 6 weeks, so.
How did it feel? How's the body feel after the collarbone injury and the finger and coming back, being off bike? How'd you feel?
Actually, another thing I admire about Cody is there was a bunch of instances like 6-7 years ago where he'd be off for a bunch of weeks and he'd come back and just, it'd be like nothing happened. And I'm like, I feel like I got to ride a couple times every week or else I lose it. And now I'm kind of in that position this year where I'm coming into all these races and like I haven't ridden all year pretty much. I've had 3 operations in 4 months now, and this last one was a pretty big deal, 6 weeks and 2 plates in my shoulder. So yeah, it's been a interesting year, but to still be, 1-2-2 with pretty much not riding all year is pretty good. I'm pretty happy about that because I'd like to see how everyone else would do in the same situation. It's pretty tough, I think. You just fitness, no riding. I'm pretty proud of myself for that, I'd say. So
Nice work, Tristan. You're the man.
how hard was it? Is that what you
Oh, yeah. How hard was it?
Well, I was shitting on the track a bit from the prologue. I'm just like, I wasn't really having it because it was just like chatter the whole time, and I didn't really see too many hard sections, but I underestimated. It got way harder. Like it was actually a hard enduro for sure.
How bad were the lappers? How much of a factor did that play?
Well, I got to stick with what I said earlier to someone. Like, I like lappers. I think it makes it interesting. You got to think, even though Cody is really good at it. But for me, it makes it really interesting, even though it's like sometimes like raises your heart rate and it just creates pressure kind of. But it makes it fun for me, where I'd be out there by myself sometimes with no one and you're just, lollygagging. So, yeah, the race was hard. A lot harder than I thought.
Do you have any spots of difficulty today? Anything that really hung you up? What was the turning point in your race today?
Honestly, the turning point was just I never got that energy burst like I was kind of expecting, and I don't really know, but I was riding pretty crappy, I think. Like normally, like 5 years ago with Cody, I would expect to be pushing up all these sections, but the last couple of years I'm pretty good at that stuff now. So I think maybe the lack of riding the last 4 months, maybe caught up today, because I had a pretty goon style. I think I was sitting a lot because I felt I didn't have a lot of strength in my upper body to hold on. So I don't want to see videos or photos from today because I think it was pretty gross, but I found a way to make it work and get second. So
where are you at in the points right now?
With the drop race, I'll still be winning because I'm dropping a 0 and I have a 1-2-2, which is, no one's been that consistent this year. So still doing pretty good, but it's still a long ways away. I mean, tough like Roar, just getting a finish at that race is hard. The last 2 years I broke a bendix and I snapped 2 foot pegs off the last 2 years. So it's hard just to get a finish there. So you still gotta, all the boys are riding pretty well. Flynn had a good ride today. And of course, Ryder, Will are always riding good. And finally, Cody seems to have figured something out. And hopefully the rest of the year he'll be up front and we can see a bit more of the old Cody. But as we go east, I mean, he's not the best hill climber. I think he knows that too. And this next race coming up is a lot of hill climbs. So we'll see. We'll see if he can figure out how to hill climb on the Yamaha.
Congrats on a solid ride today, Tristan.
Thanks.
All right, Will Rearen, 3rd place on the day on the Sherco. How hard was it? Tell us about your day.
Harder than I thought, honestly. I thought it was going to be quick, which there were definitely quick spots, similar to Donna, but just constant. Like I watched Cody's GoPro from last year, and it's just constant, no rest. Even on the fire roads, there was rocks everywhere. So it was a constant beat down. Lucky it was only an hour 40 or whatever it was. But as I was saying, it was definitely some tougher sections than I anticipated, which was good. It was a sick track, I think.
So you had fun. How about your actual race? You got out to an early lead, you were setting the pace, going fast, and then how did the race break down for you?
Yeah, so I got a bad start, and then 10 minutes the start was all dusty single track, so I was in behind Cody. Cody actually passed me in the first few minutes, and then I was following him, like all over him, and then finally found a chance to pass him, and I was in 5th or 6th maybe. And then literally the next minute I passed Ryder, Tristan, Flynn, whoever else was there. And then I wanted to get in front and then like push, because I feel like for sure my speed's one of my stronger points. So try to get out front, and then with the dust, and then also following the track, even though there's ribbon everywhere and arrows, like it's still tough. It's way easier to follow. So I wanted to make a break. Tristan was right behind me, and then he got in front of me, and then we kind of were pushing, but Cody kind of caught up with us, or we didn't get out of sight from him, and then got into the lappers into lap 2 and 3. The lappers were pretty bad, or however you want to say it, just there was a lot of them. And Cody's unreal at that. He pulls out some trials lines that were pretty impressive. I got through them fine, but then they just got that bit of a gap. I could see them, but I was never with them. And then I guess on the 3rd lap, it grew a little bit further and further. But yeah, I'm happy with 3rd and another podium.
The man, Will Rearen.
All right, we're here with Louise Forsley at the Moab Hard Enduro. Today she won the women's pro class with a commanding lead, but how hard was it?
So the women's pro class raced the B lines today, and honestly, like when we were linked up with the A riders, there was some hard stuff that we were riding. It was pretty technical. I will say I think that my trials technical riding like helped out a lot, picking just precise lines, because there's some like slabby ledge rocks that you needed to get up and hold traction. So, picking the correct line and sticking to it was definitely key. So I made the 3 laps, but I was so tired on my 3rd lap. My 2nd one, I pushed a little bit too hard, I think, and maybe overdid it. Max was chasing me for a while, so I was trying to go quicker than my usual pace. So it was pretty hard, honestly. I got my money's worth, that's for sure.
Well, great. You definitely performed well, and we heard from many racers that this place is just relentless. That is just constant. Even the transfer trails are really tough. So can you expand upon that and like how, the Moab area, you probably came out here or have come out here a lot in the past. What is it different about this place than other places?
I feel like Moab is pretty well known for big, grippy, like ledges. But out here, there's a lot of like chunky little rocks that are buried in the sand. So you'll be spinning in the sand, and then you'll start to dig up a lot of chunky rocks that just kind of roll underneath your tires. And then there's even smaller ones that are constantly rolling under your tires. It's also like very slippery out here. The dirt is kind of like silty. I washed my front wheel out a couple times. That's like the majority of times that I went down today was just spinning out. And then also when that like silty powder gets on the rocks, there's no traction. It makes it really, it's like ice. Yeah, I was like thinking to myself, this is almost similar to East Coast riding because of how slippery it is.
Yeah, but the complete opposite.
Exactly. Like there should be traction on all of these rocks, and probably when the dirt's not there is a ton, but out here, like with all these racers, it was slippery.
Wow. Well, speaking of East Coast, are you going to be racing any East Coast races this year?
I'm going to try to make it to Virginia in the Pennsylvania rounds. Like my work is kind of just pops up out of nowhere, and it's usually based in California, so it's kind of a gamble to leave, further from the state in the West Coast. But granted, I know that I have some time off right now, so anytime I do have time off, I try to fill it with racing and riding because it's just what I love to do.
Well, thank you for being here, and great job today.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for putting the series on. I love it.